Hey everyone, I hope all is well, and welcome to something a little bit different than what we usually do on the channel. Usually I like to record playthroughs of all different kinds of games, but with the turn of the new year, I kind of wanted to do a little bit more with this channel, and I didn't really know what. I couldn't think of anything big or whatnot, but regardless, I figured out that I kind of wanted to do like short little episodes telling you guys stories that have happened to me that either are funny or are just unique experiences or mean something to me, anything like that. And I was sitting here today thinking, okay, well, what story do I want to tell? What could I think of? And I think I'm going to go ahead and tell you the story of the time that I had a tarantula put on my head. So this was when I was in the second grade, elementary school. I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, I was kind of fascinated with like animals that people are traditionally scared of, like alligators, crocodiles, snakes, spiders specifically. And so I've always found them interesting. I don't really know why, but at the school I went to, they would always have like the local zoo come in and bring animals and show them to us, and all that stuff. And every year that it happened, I always wanted to hold either an alligator, crocodile, whatever, a snake, or a spider. So a few years went by, I had no luck or whatnot. Now, mind you, the few years that went by, they never brought any kind of spider. It was just always snakes and alligators and whatever else they brought. So, second grade comes around. I'm sitting in a cafeteria full of around 200 people, directly next to my teacher, by the way. That's kind of important to the story. And they bring out the alligator, and of course, I'm gonna apologize right now for the way I play. It's hard for me to talk and tell a story and be able to play right. It's just can't do it. But regardless, sitting in a cafeteria full of people, and they brought out the alligator. I didn't get called to hold it, and then they brought out a snake. Didn't get called to hold it. And finally, they brought out the tarantula for the first time ever. And so, when they brought it out, they asked, they're like, who wants to hold the tarantula? And nobody in this whole sea of people raised their hand to want to hold this spider. But everyone else wanted to hold the crocodile and the snake. So, I don't really understand that, but it is what it is. And so, I was the only one that raised my hand. And so obviously I got called. Now, my teacher just kind of gave me a look like, are you crazy? Are you on drugs right now? And I just kind of smiled at her. I was like, what? What could possibly go wrong? Like, ain't nothing gonna happen. So I get up there and they're like, hold your hands out. I'm like, all right, fine. Hold my hands out, and they put this big ass tarantula on my hands. This thing was probably the size of a softball, maybe a little bit bigger than a softball. And so I asked them, I said, hey, should there be any reason for me to be concerned in any way, shape, or form? And they're like, well, don't be afraid because they can sense that. And I was just like, okay, well, that doesn't make the situation any better. So I was like, alright, well, I'm already in this shit, so might as well commit. And, so I'm holding the spider, and he's, giving everyone some facts about tarantulas and all that business. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anyways. And so finally, the guy, he's like, who wants to see something really cool? And everyone's like, yeah! And I'm like, wait, what? What's gonna happen? This guy takes the tarantula out of my hands and he puts it on my head. Doesn't ask if it's okay, doesn't even, like, I didn't get any sort of warning about this. He puts it on my head, and immediately I had thought, you know what, if I die, at least I'll die in the coolest way anyone in this school has ever died. That was my mindset in the second grade. So this tarantula, is chilling on my head, and of course this guy is still giving more facts as if there was, they were never ending. The spider starts crawling down the side of my face, And so everyone's just like, oh my god, look at it, it's moving, this is incredible. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, hey, you know, this isn't normal, please. This spider crawls all the way down to my ear, and one of its hairy little legs that was maybe like 3 inches long was right inside of my ear. And the sheer will and determination it took me to not itch my ear and bother this tarantula in any way, because I was afraid it was gonna bite me, was astronomical. And I don't know how I did it, but I did it. So anyways, finally, this guy, he asked me, he's like, are you okay, you know? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I just, you know, if you could take this off of me, I think everyone's kind of got the show that they, you know, they wanted and all that. And they're like, okay, so I head back to my spot, and everyone's just like looking at me like I'm some sort of fucking freak or something. And my teacher is like, I can't believe you did that. I thought something might happen. I'm like, I'm good. It's okay now. But yeah, that's definitely something that, you know, is crazy. And years later, after thinking about it, I don't know how many people can say that they've had a tarantula on their head. I doubt it's many, but I don't want to say like I'm in the top 0.1% of people when it comes to that, because I'm probably not, and it really doesn't matter. It's not that deep. But regardless, it's something very unique, funny, and just crazy. So to finish out this story, usually I would ride the bus home, and for whatever reason, my mom was picking me up that day. And my mom does not like snakes, alligators, spiders, none of that. And so she picks me up, and I was like, Mom, I got something to tell you. She's like, what? And she knew it was kind of concerning, because, you know, the tone of my voice. That dude just jumped over my boy. And I was like, yeah, I had a tarantula put on my head today. She's like, you what? And so I explained it to her, and she was like borderline crying. It was kind of funny. But I told her, like, it's good, we're fine, we're chilling, I'm good. And she's like, please don't ever do that again. That was horrible. I don't need a phone call from the school or nothing like that, or, you know. So anyways, that was the time that I had a tarantula put onto my head. UAV detected.